opportunity to and needed to keep separation there when you had those red zone opportunities?
Yeah, and I don't know if that will ultimately make a difference in the outcome of the game, but anytime you're in the red zone, you want touchdowns, right? You want to put a 7 on the board, whatever you can. And in the first half, I mean, we were excited to get points because the number one objective in the red zone is score points, but you want to have a higher touchdown percentage when you do field goals. So we were excited to get the 6 points, but definitely want to come away with touchdowns. And you need touchdowns, especially when you're playing a good team.
Mike and Greg.
Yeah, Coach, the first 3 turnovers, your defense stopped them from scoring anything off that. How big was that to kind of keep you?
Man, that's huge, and that's guys playing a little bit of compensation right there. The objective is to play complementary football, and when we play complementary football, we can jump on people. But I'm really proud of those guys just playing the next play, not worried about the situation, and that's the mentality that we're trying to establish. It doesn't matter where the ball is. When you get an opportunity to run out there on defense, just be excited to play, and that's what I saw out of those guys.
The touchdown to Landry had at the end of the first half. First of all, what were you thinking? And then, are you surprised no momentum carry over into the third quarter?
Yeah. So what I was thinking was, okay, we got timeouts. We can stop the clock. We got 9 seconds, and let's call something that's pretty safe. And if it's tackled short of the end zone, we're gonna call timeout and come away with 3 points. And so, man, glad that he made a play. But the first thing when he came off, I said, hey, but you gotta understand the situation. Like, you gotta be absolutely right in that situation, which he was. Because if not, if we're running around in that situation, we could run the clock out and come away with no points. So, excited to see him make a play, but again, it's another opportunity for us to teach him. The least important thing in the game is to score at halftime, right? So we had, it didn't matter if we were up or we were down. We got to come out and play, the best second half that we possibly could. And tonight we didn't do that. And I haven't done a good job the last 2 weeks of having these guys ready to go coming out of half in the third quarter. So I got to do a better job. I got to coach better. I got to have them better prepared to win the second half of the middle eight. I thought they did a good job recapturing momentum with the first half of the middle eight, but we did not come out, had turnovers, and then we were able to establish anything offensively. But we got to the fourth quarter, 1 possession game. That's where we want to be, and we just couldn't. We couldn't regenerate what we did last week. And we'll go back and we'll evaluate the film and figure out how we got to coach better and to better have these guys prepared.
Jerry and Jack.
I was going to ask you about it. I know you stressed the middle eight. And do you have any idea what could be bogging you guys down offensively in the third quarter?
Yeah, each game is going to be different, and we structure our practices to really hone in on the middle eight with the way that we structure practice. So we'll evaluate that, and the biggest thing is understanding that every play matters, right? It doesn't matter if it's the first play of the game, the last play of the game, or a play with 8 minutes left in the third quarter. Every play is a huge play, and I think we're growing in that area. Tonight we didn't put it all together, but man, I'm proud of that football team, right? And those guys continue to prepare well each week. Excited to play. We just got to clean up a few things, which I know these guys will take it to heart. They're a proud bunch in there. They'll own mistakes. We got to tip our hats to Maryland. They made the plays. It's a good football team, but there's a lot of things that we control, and we got to go back to working on fixing and controlling.
Ty Furnish looked like he was ill in the game. What's the status of him?
Yeah, I'll have to wait on that. I haven't been given an update yet in terms of that. I know there's been some bugs going around. We had a couple guys that were down this week. Some other guys that are scout team guys went down during the week. So we got to do a great job of making sure we combat that. But I'll have an update next time we meet.
And just with Calandra, when you get a few turnovers today, what type of message do you have for him or your evaluation of this? Because he's done quarterback just to kind of keep this in.
Yeah, man, just keep swinging. It's like a great shooter, man. They got to keep shooting. Like a baseball player goes to the slump, he's got to keep swinging, right? So we're not gonna panic and have a knee-jerk reaction here. We're gonna coach, because there's some good things he did too. He made a lot of plays for us as well, and so each one we'll dissect individually and try to coach him, from a fundamental standpoint, from a situation standpoint. But he's a competitor, and there's nobody in that locker room that's probably hurting more than him. And he wants to go out and do everything that he can to help the guys, and he's shown progress, right? And we're going to be confident that he's going to continue to progress. And it's a long season, right? There's going to be learning opportunities for everybody, but he's a competitor, and the message is, and just keep competing, and then remain locked in on correcting those mistakes. And even on the sideline with his demeanor in the conversation, you know, he was receptive to the corrections. He wants to be successful, and he wants to lead his football team. And you know, there's gonna be some match for you guys. Got to learn some tough lessons, and I'm sure he will.
So Jeff and the rest of them.
Maryland was credited with only 1 sack, but they seem to get a lot of
Yeah.
pressure and move the pocket a lot. Were you concerned about that coming into the game?
You know, late in the game, they got a little bit more pressure than they did in the first half, and yes, I was concerned because again, we're still trying to figure it out up front, moving guys around, playing a lot of guys, and Boley's still down, and Jack's doing a great job for us, but we're not quite at full strength, and then some of it's going to be on the backs, and some of it's going to be on the quarterbacks, and it's not always going to be on the offensive line, and so we'll evaluate that, but as I said, with that front, and their experience better in front with 2 deep on the D line, so we knew it was going to be a battle.
Third down, something that y'all talked about a lot this year. Obviously not great numbers tonight, also in the red zone. Just what are you seeing in both those areas?
Yeah, so third down is a function of getting behind the sticks on first and second, right? So when you're averaging long yardage conversions in third down, it's very, very difficult. You talk about your percentages go way, way down. You get them into the third and 3 to 5 range, you got a much higher percentage of conversion. So we'll go back and study that. I've got to do a better job, but I think what will help us is if we can stay more efficient on first and second down, both in the pass game and the run game, and then in the red zone, and everything speeds up, right? Everything speeds up because it's a shorter field distance. Everything happens a lot faster. You just gotta make sure that you don't beat yourself, and then you gotta go execute at a high level. So we'll be evaluating that as well.
With Mike and then Peter.
I know you had guys in and out at the corner position, but it seemed like that's where they were taking their shots as opposed to over the middle with the safeties. What did you see at the corner spot, and how big a concern is the play right there?
Yeah, I mean, to me there was one play for the touchdown, but I mean I thought our guys made some competitive plays down the field too. You're going to get tested on the outside, right? Throwing the ball over the middle is not safe, right? So we should have had an interception there. We didn't come down with it. We'll evaluate it, but those guys are competing, and then you got to be ready when your number's called, right? If somebody goes down, the next man in, and any good offense, the next man that comes in the game, right? They're anticipating that he's cold. He's been on the sideline for a little while. They're going to take a shot. So we could do a better job, coaching wise to potentially help in that situation. But our guys, and they made some plays over the middle, so they made some competitive plays when they needed to. But I thought we made a couple competitive plays too. I think we had more pass breakups, in the game than they did. So we'll evaluate it, we'll look at it, we'll own it, and we'll get better.
Coach, 0 points in the second half. Why did the offense struggle so much in the game?
Man, great question. I'll know better after I watch the film and see all of the in fine detail when I can study it. But it's just like we couldn't establish a rhythm. We missed a couple throws. When we tried to run the ball to get ahead of the chains, we weren't flipping them off like we were in the first half. In the first half, we were getting some push, and we had some runs up to 5, 6, 7 yards, but you ahead of the chains, more manageable third down situations. Then we turned the ball over and just couldn't establish a rhythm. We'll look at it. We'll get better. We'll be back ready to go next week. Joe.
Did you feel like that was a glimpse of what Chris Tyreek can do?
Yeah, I mean,
Gave a few times.
I think the first touch he had went to the house, and they called it both ways. Like first they called holding play on them on the screenplay and on us, and we got to do a better job on the perimeter. But I thought he did look like what we expected out of him. It was good to see him back on there on punt return, catching the ball with confidence, and then he had a couple of kickoff returns too. So excited about his game, but we got to put it all together.
While the offense was struggling majorly in the second half and the third quarter, the defense seemed to make a lot of third down stops. Defense was rolling. What do you have to say about the defense?
Oh man, just proud of the effort they played with and the toughness that they showed, and that's a good football team there that just got some experience across the board. And I thought they responded well. But again, if you're not playing complimentary football, man, we put them on the field too much, put them in some compromising situations. But I thought they responded the right way, and late in the game, man, those additional snaps from the other side of the ball maybe not being as efficient, and then they catch up with you.
Malachi got called for holding on that
Yeah.
Tyreek play, and then he had the fumble late.
Yeah.
So the fumble just him trying to make a play, and you say anything to him, he could make really good the first few years.
Yeah, I'm not saying a whole lot to him. I mean, he's over there battling, and it's a judgment call by the referee. And that's an effort penalty, so I'm not going to get on nobody for an effort penalty. And I was standing right there, and you know, if he would have let go once Tyree got by him, but he tries to finish the play, that's an easy call for the ref. And you know, the fumble play is man, it's the guys that you don't see. And we're just gonna go back to work. And but man, Malachi's been giving us, you know, everything that he has, you know, week in and week out. So we'll address it, we'll talk about it, but not gonna make a big deal about it.
Thanks,
All right,
Brian.
thank you.